Hey there YouTube, Raj here, and I've got another video for you today. Recently I've been wearing a lot of oud based fragrances. This has ranged from more western style fragrances like the one I'm talking about today from Tom Ford, Oud Wood Intense, ranging to more authentic ones like actual genuine oils, or fragrances that have more noticeable and heavier concentrations of oud. I feel like it's just a note that I've been enjoying a lot more recently actually. So you're going to see a few more videos from me of oud based fragrances. So if you're a fan, then stay tuned. So this one I've got a sample of Tom Ford's Oud Wood Intense, not to be confused with the original Oud Wood, which came out in the first batch of fragrances with the private blend. This is Tom Ford's most maybe luxurious, most artistic expression in fragrance form, the private blend line. And I really feel like Tom Ford, whenever he wants to make something daring, I feel like he does, and he doesn't seem to have any restrictions because it's his own brand. So I guess he can do that. You know, fragrances like Tuscan Leather, like Noir Anthracite, like Tobacco Oud, like London, which I'm not sure actually is even around anymore. And also like with Oud Wood Intense, he really has gone with this aggressive, almost macho feel to this fragrance. When I first wore this fragrance, I kind of really disliked the opening, which I still kind of dislike the opening, even though I kind of tolerate it a little bit more. But it went from a like, oh my god, what the hell is this, to a wow, this is actually amazing, as the fragrance later develops and really gets into the dry down. It's an expensive fragrance, and I feel like a lot of Tom Ford private blends, I mean all of the Tom Ford private blends are, but this one especially is at the higher end. So it comes in a 50, what happened? It comes in a 50 ml, which will cost you around £220. Sorry, the website wasn't loading. There's also a 100 ml, which is 315, and then the large decanter, I guess it's called, is 250 ml, would cost around 500 something. It's a lot of money. It definitely is a lot of money. I've seen Tom Ford fragrances, the private blend, on discount websites. Allbeauty.com is one that I typically use. This is described as unrestrained and lavish. Tom Ford's Oud Wood Intense reveals a whole new side to the most precious ingredient in the fragrance world, oud. Bottled here at its richest, with the most luxurious saturation. I mean, is it really? The smoldering scent is intensified with and ignited with, what the hell, who writes this stuff? With accords of angelica roots and cypress. So I don't feel this is like heavily dominated by oud. I think it's one ingredient. It doesn't feel like a real oud to me. It feels synthetic, which I actually don't mind at all. Not every fragrance has to contain the real thing, although it's always nice when you do smell the real thing. It doesn't really, based on what my experience is of oud, that's wrong hand, yeah. It doesn't really feel like an oud fragrance I've tried before, but that's not to say that it doesn't contain real oud, because, you know, depending on the country it's from, the age, the grade, how it's processed, lots of different determining factors will influence on the scent of oud. It's quite a complex ingredient actually, but what is essentially a wood, to describe it in the most basic and maybe slightly disrespectful way. But anyway, so yeah, not much in terms of notes. Oud, angelica roots, cypress, not giving too much away. So I do feel that Tom Ford's Oud Wood Intense leans toward the masculine side. You can wear whatever you want, but I do feel that majority of people wearing this, or who gravitate towards this, will probably be men. But if you're a woman and you really enjoy wearing this, let me know. Drop a comment down below. I feel like this is a cool to cold weather fragrance, but look, if you're in a climate that is hot pretty much all year round, then or warm at least, then this probably would work. But on my skin, I have been wearing this in the winter time, and I feel like that's probably the best time to wear it. Performance of this fragrance is excellent all day, like literally from the morning till you're gonna have to shower to get this one off your skin. It does feel like a more serious fragrance. I feel like this is one to be worn in formal occasions, maybe going to work, and then also if you're going to like the bar after work, it would be a nice choice. It doesn't feel playful, or like I wouldn't wear this, I wouldn't wear this on a date, but I would wear this if I'm going to meet some friends, we're going for some drinks and dinner or something along those lines, Yeah, so in the opening with this scent, it is full on, like it really, really reminds me of that scene from Anchorman where he gets a bottle of Sex Panther out, and obviously the famous line goes, oh, that, I'm not going to lie to you, that smells like pure gasoline. It's formidable stuff. And yeah, straight away, it does smell like pure gasoline. It's thick and oily and peppery, spicy, and honestly, harsh. In the opening 1 hour, that's really, really what I get. Strangely though, I've learnt to, I've kind of like tolerate that opening and almost like it. It's a weird one. People like the smell of petrol and gasoline, but you don't really want it on your skin. But I dislike most of it, but there's something in there which I kind of like. Anyway, after an hour, that thankfully does start to die down, and what you're left with is actually a really, really beautiful fragrance. I get an incensey black pepper type accord. I get a smoky herbal quality in there, which is maybe a combination of the angelica root and the cypress. And there is this very macho feel, very hairy chest kind of feel to this fragrance. It does remind me of also Italian cypress from Tom Ford's Private Blend, and I've mentioned a few others. Noir anthracite kind of gives me vibes. This does not have anything that I would say is similar to the original Oud Wood. They're completely different fragrances, completely different, but with pretty much the same name. It has a polish, like a lacquered, maybe a really smooth wood, almost like a touch of rosewood, because there's a touch of sweetness in there as well. Yeah, maybe that's in there as well, although it's not listed on the note breakdown. Yeah, there's maybe a touch of spicy, almost spicy, smoky vetiver in there. Like I would not be surprised if Tom Ford later on released a full note breakdown that there would be a smoky vetiver note in there. I can kind of pick it up. But yeah, overall, I think definitely worth checking out. It's expensive. I don't think it's going to be for everyone. This is certainly for somebody who wants a more challenging fragrance, a more bolder. You don't like the tame fragrances that pervade the market. You want something which is bold, but also I think after the first hour, this is actually quite crowd pleasing. I didn't get any compliments or anything like that, but I don't think somebody's going to smell this on you and think you smell awful. It's quite distinguished, actually. I think if you dress up in a nice sort of formal clothing, I think this fragrance actually goes quite well. So yeah, or would go quite well. I haven't actually tried that, but I imagine. Anyway, that's my review. I'm going to give this a rating of 8.5 out of 10. I wanted to go a little bit higher, but I felt like the opening was too harsh. Also, I feel like as the fragrance does develop, even though there is some depth in there, it's on the whole, it follows a similar wavelength and is quite, there is a linearity to this fragrance, which I don't mind, but I wouldn't mind a little bit more going on, maybe a little bit more sweetness coming through, because this really is, as I said, it's quite spicy and smoky and rooty, vetiver. It's all those black pepper, incense, all those kinds of notes. I wouldn't mind something a little bit softer coming along, maybe a touch of vanilla, just to add a little bit more sweetness and roundedness to this fragrance. But yeah, overall 8.5 out of 10, definitely worth checking out. Let me know your thoughts. Are you a fan? Are you kind of in the middle? Do you hate it? Whatever you have to say, say it. And like and subscribe if you're interested. Check me out on Instagram if you're interested. Also, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.